What's up, guys? I'm going to do some breakdown reactions to some interesting clips and videos that I, thought was had interesting topics to talk about. So let's go. Let's just start it. So the first one will be from the Whatever podcast. It's it's a video. It's a channel that I sometimes watch. I don't watch it that often, right? But they do have some interesting clips and topics that they talk about. So I thought it would be cool to check out. Let's start it.
Okay,
Some people
I have
just-
a question.
sorry.
So you just told her like you wouldn't if she was to say like drop everybody, drop all your hoes.
Sorry. Yo, FTG, thank you for the gifted 50. We'll get the fit check in a sec. Go
She
ahead.
just said like if she was to say drop everybody for me, you just said you wouldn't do it, but you're saying like, but you also say you like being in a relationship. So I just need a little bit of clarity. Like I'm trying to figure out.
Is when I'm ready. So if she asks me to and I'm not ready, I'm not going to. Once I'm ready, if she wants to come along with that, then that's when it'll be on my terms. Basically, it'll be on my terms. It's that simple.
Okay.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Some people are just down for dicking.
Yeah. That's the difference.
You gotta
when
do
she,
the
when, she,
dicking.
when she asked me that, she said if she wants it, and it's like she doesn't determine that, I'll gatekeep my commitment.
Okay, so the gatekeeping of commitment, let me just say this. As somebody who is dating for marriage and has been since probably I was 18, I mean, my entire life, I feel like I encounter that more often, and my friends and I are women who are looking to get married, and it's guys that give BS answers like that. It's not the women who are out here, like I feel like the chat makes it seem like all women are like hoes and nobody wants to settle down or get married or live a traditional life.
Right, but
I
it's
encounter
like the
way
guys
more
not
men
wanting
like
to.
that with that mindset than the opposite.
Wait.
Let's I see. I wanted to talk about that. That's what I saw. I mean, I was watching this clip initially, but when she said that, I really wanted to react to it on video. It's great that she and her circle of friends are dating with purpose, I guess, right? Dating with the intent to marry. The problem is with modern day women. There's plenty of women that's dating with the intent to, with a purpose of relationship, long-term commitment, with marriage, right? But the problem with it, with women nowadays, is that they go for the top percent of men. Here's a woman, right? I don't know how old she is, right? But she said she's been doing whatever, dating with intent for marriage, commitment, since she was 18. Let's assume she's in her early 20s, I guess. Mid 20s, let's say, But there's definitely years that she's been dating and she's still not married. You have to say, why? Why is that? One, it's probably because her standards, which is fine. Women have high standards. It is what it is. But two, it is the men that they choose. Now, she said she encounters men that gatekeep commitment, or men that are not easy to commit long term, or men that doesn't have necessarily a marriage mindset on her time schedule. So I believe she's picking men that has options. Men that are the top 20% of men. Men that a good amount of women wants to be with. So in general, if there's a man that has a plethora of women, a good amount of options, there is a more of a chance that he will wait until he finds the absolute best option he can, right? an option where he can find a woman that he's absolutely head over heels for, where he sees all the best qualities that she has, right? And he wants to ignore all options for this woman. But that is not easy. That's not as easy said than done. So these type of women, like her, and probably the friends like her, are hoping that they are the ones that will get these top percent of men to settle down. Right? These men that have, let's say, these men that are very charming, good looking, maybe tall, maybe well off financially, funny, good personalities, whatever. Men that can attract a lot of women. Men that do not need to rush to settle down, nor do they care to rush to settle down. So, more than likely, women like her and her friends, they don't have qualities that these men see that it's worth settling down right now for. So that's the problem with, I see modern day women, and she's the perfect example for it. She's choosing men that do not care, that do not need to settle down soon. They don't, because they are living life. They're having fun. They're enjoying life. Just like this guy. I guess in a bit he will say that he's enjoying life. He's dating a lot of women. That's what he says. But I bet you the type of men that she goes for and her friends go for are men that don't have problems with women. Right? It's actually the absolute complete opposite, where it's actually easy when it comes to women for them. So this is the problem with women, that they choose the top percent of men and thinking that they can lock them down, and thinking that they are the ones that will change these men. No, I mean, you choose men that have options. Well, you're just one of those options. That's it. So you have to wake up. Where this is the woman where they want to live in the delusions. Oh my God, there's so many, all these men don't want commitment. No, there are plenty of men that want commitment, that want marriage, but you are not interested nor attracted to these type of men. So that's just how it is.
You encounter way more men.
Basically,
What
men
the
who are
hell
I'll be ready when I'm ready, even though I'm 30 years old. I'm
What's
not
wrong with
looking to
that?
get married.
There, Alan
Hold on just a
Paul
sec.
donated $100.
No.
Lots of cognitive dissonance coming from this guy.
Do you have a response to Mr. Meatball?
Lots of cognitive dissonance. Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't completely deny that it's cognitive dissonance, because as I pointed out, I'm naturally a relationship guy. So this is kind of the route that I'm taking to ensure that I'm comfortable with myself.
Alex.
But as I said, I'm not gonna stop dating women just because, I'm.
You did find 1 in 1,000 of girls, though. You found a really great woman, and are you willing to risk that?
No, I'm holding on to her.
Yeah, but
That's
what
why
if she was
That's why she's the main.
But what if she was like, oh, I want to get married, I want to be with you, and I only want to be with you. I've been loyal to you, but I don't want you to see other people. I don't want you to see other women. Right.
Well,
Like,
I'll
she's
give
laying
you
it all
an
out for
example.
you.
I'll give you an example. We had a conversation recently, right? And I asked her if she felt that she deserved commitment, because essentially when we first started dating, it was just us two. I was monogamous, I was exclusive, and she was sabotaging. She wasn't sure. She was insecure. She wasn't sure if this what she wanted. So I told her, I said, well, if you're going to sabotage, then I'm going to date other people. See, I didn't disclose that to y'all. It started off rocky. So I said, I'm going to date other people because you don't know if you actually want this. So when I communicated that to her and I went on about my business, she popped back up like, no, I do want this. I'm going to try. And I said, nah, I want to date other people. If you want to stick around and wait to see, that's what happened. So I didn't start off that way.
How long have you guys been
talking?
It's been almost 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 years. That's why
Way
I say
too-
she's.
how old is she?
She's been here. She's 26.
Get out.
She's been
Run.
here. She's not going
Why?
anywhere.
Because he's 30 and he's still like, I don't know what I want and I'm not ready to settle down, and she's getting close
This
to
is. She mentions his age a few times, or she mentions men in their 30s a few times, right? This is the problem, right? Where usually, if you are a man of purpose, a man of drive, right, a man that's on his grind, a man that's in his 30s to later is when you're kind of in your prime in many different areas, right? Especially financially. And that is very important, right? You're in your prime financially, right? Or at least at the best, financial status that you've ever had, right? So, a man in his 30s, if he's also have other attributes like good looking, tall, charming, all this stuff, well, he's in demand. He's at his prime. He's living the best life he can. He's living the life of what an 18-year-old girl would be living, right? In her prime of life, her most useful time period where she's open to the world now, right? She's the world is open to her and she's exploring the world, right? She has the abilities to do what she feels like, date who she wants, talk to whoever men she wants, live life how she wants, and it's pretty much she has the world in the palm of her hand in a sense, right? So a man in his 30s to late 30s or whatever, if he's done things right, he's at he has the world in the palm of his hand too, right? He has women that want him. He's doing good money. He can travel. He can do things that he wants to do without a whole lot of restrictions. So, again, it's women that think that it's the delusion, right? The difference in perspective. You thinking a man in his 30s he should rush? No, he doesn't need to, because sadly, men have time on their hand, or a larger chunk of time on their hands, because a man in his 40s, a man in his 45s, right, maybe even 50s. I mean, it's late, but he can still have a family. A woman in her 40s, woman going into her 50s, a family is done for her. More than likely, definitely 50, but more than likely, having a family is done for her. A woman that's in her 30s, there's a high chance that family is going to be hard to come by, right? Good, stable family, husband, children. It's going to be it gets harder to come by. So, it is the reality that time is more friendly to men than it is to women. So, men in his 30s, there's really no rush. Keep on building, keep enjoying life, and take your time. For a woman, if she's in her 30s, she should be rushing, really rushing, because you're wasting time. Truthfully, she should have gotten with a man much earlier, right? If she gotten with a man, if women want a man that's not much older than them, start with a man really early, right? Build with him. I was just talking to a couple. They're both 20, in their, about like 23. And, they started early. They're dating at the same time. He's like a UPS driver. She's like going to college. So it's not like their level of status, right? Level of life is not that much drastically different. He's just started being a UPS driver, or about like 2 years or so. So if you wait until he's been, a UPS driver for 20 years, he's built a good financial status. I mean, he's done decent for him, and then you're, I don't know, in your early 20s trying to go for him, then you'll be different, right? You're not. Women have lost the what is it that outlook of building with men, right? They are always trying to find men that are already built, and that's the problem.
That age where she's got to figure that out.
I know.
She's wasting time with you. She could find a guy that wants to
I
get
know.
married.
Yeah, but see, other guys ain't as dope as me, so it's difficult. That's what.
don't
And
wanna
see, you
rush, but
forget
like-
that. Yeah, you
like-
see, y'all forget that. We're aware when girls don't want to date other guys. We're aware when we're him, the cream of the crop for them. So if she's willing to wait, it's because she feels that she can't find better, and maybe she can. But I'm willing to bet she can.
Thank you,
I don't
FTG.
think it's always that she can't find better. I think most of the time, us as women, we look at your potential. So most of the time, we're staying around because we see potential that you're gonna get with us. You're gonna get over yourselves, see what you really have, and then come back to us. So I think that's what it is more than we can't find anybody better. Because like if we was to go out on the street right now, we can find somebody. Like that's not.
You can
saying-
find a whole bunch of
That's
guys.
what I'm saying. Like we can find somebody. So it's not
And
like
waste
saying we
your
can't
time.
find better. It's just saying like we want you, we want that potential, but you're not giving us that potential. So we're trying to hold on as long as we can until you give us that potential.
No, the potential is the reason that you stay.
Yeah.
And if you see progress, so if your boyfriend says, "Look, babe, I want to do this, I want to accomplish this, I want to accomplish this," and you see him accomplishing breadcrumbs, you see him getting breadcrumbs to where he's trying to get, that's gonna make you even feel better. That's gonna make you feel more better, right?
Because you're working towards it.
Exactly. You see it. You like,
But
oh my
you're
God,
not-
he's
but
doing it.
What you're saying is she wants you. You're telling her, nah, it's okay. I'm going to go find my other options. If you want to stay, you can stay. So she's staying in the hopes that you're going to come back to her,
That's her choice.
which is like messed up.
But that's her choice, though.
Q, isn't it the case that a lot of women would rather be with like a really quality guy and share him
Absolutely.
than be in a relationship
Absolutely.
with a guy that they don't respect and
Absolutely.
that's weak or whatever?
I don't
Absolutely.
think
That's
anyone.
The problem with what she's saying too, right? And I'll probably continue to it. The problem is that again, women can't find men that will commit. Easy. Almost all women can find a man that will commit to her 100%. Hell, I think pretty much all women or most women can find a man tomorrow that will marry her on the spot. They don't want those men. They choose men that, like I said, either don't want them or men that has a lot of options, so they're not bothered. Okay, if you want to be with me, great. If you don't, that's up to you. It is truly up to them. So they are the ones who's choosing men that are not following their time schedule. Men that are following their own time schedule, right? Following their own purpose, following their own lead. That's the thing that women don't understand. They want men to really just follow them, right? Do what they think, think like they think, right? Like follow their lead, which is ridiculous. Especially when they find certain type of men that are not like that. Men that are, at least leaders of their own life.
Wants
that
to
was my point.
share their man though.
A lot
In
of
reality.
like if the guy is high status enough, I think a lot of women would be prepared to share him.
Absolutely.
Really?
I mean,
I think
What
so.
is
Not
high
women
status
who are
mean?
loyal and
Yeah, it
committed to
depends on
just
the
you
woman.
though.
It doesn't have to be financial. It can be a myriad of things. It doesn't have to be financial. It can be financial. It can be the way he looks, the way he makes her feel, the way she feels about him. It's different elements that go into it. It's not a one size fits all type ordeal. It's multiple things.
And it sounds like
if you
if-
observe a lot of men, who are high status or high quality, they date multiple women, and as long as they're open and honest, some of those women are willing to accept that.
Okay, can I just ask something? If you know that she knows all of this about you and she's still willing to be with you, wouldn't that make you question her intelligence, and then therefore wouldn't that make her less attractive to you?
Not necessarily, because what you're missing is y'all are talking about my main. And the reason that I acknowledge she's my main. So I'm well aware of the loyalty and commitment that she's shown, which is why I'm saying when I'm ready to settle down, she's at the forefront of my mind. But it's a matter of me being willing to settle down. I want to make sure I can take care of her. I want to make sure I can provide for her. I want to make sure I can provide for our family.
And you don't want to cheat on her when you're married to
Yeah,
her,
and that won't happen. Like, I've never cheated. I've never committed infidelity. So when,
Yeah, but how are you going to reach that elite status of being able to provide for her and take care of her if you're spending all your money on all these side chicks?
who said I was spending all my money? I just said it.
You don't have to
I'm
spend money on
assuming-
side chicks.
I literally,
you don't
I
gotta
literally
spend money
just
on
said,
side chicks.
I literally just said I only
Just
invest
saying.
resources in one girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's the only girl. So that's what I said. When you asked about loyalty, I said there's sexual loyalty, and then with men, how we show loyalty, that's who we invest our time, energy, effort, resources, and finances into. So she gets way more than that. You don't see me out on dates with side chicks. I'll take her out anywhere. I'll go on vacation with her anywhere.
And it sounds like you would prefer her not to sleep with other people, or that might even be a deal breaker for you. Is that right?
Absolutely, because she can't do it. I know if she sleeps with another guy, I've lost her.
So I actually don't disagree with you as far as the consent part of it, which is that if she consents to you being with other people and consents to her being monogamous to you, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If it's a mutually consensual relationship between two people, you don't always have to have the same rules for each other, and that can go either way for anything, right? The only concern I would have, I guess, is she staying with you out of insecurity? And if she doesn't have all her things together, because it sounds like at the beginning when you left, she was like, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm getting the details wrong, but it sounds like you left and then she's like, no, I want you back, and I'm willing to put up with you being with other people because I like you so much. So that gives me the vibe of someone who's a little bit insecure and maybe a little bit unsure of other partners that she can find.
You're saying she's
reinforce that.
insecure.
Yeah,
You're saying-
I reinforce her ability to get other men, though.
Thank you, FTG.
I reinforce her. I positively affirm her ability to get other men.
So just finish my thought. Sorry. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
To finish my thought. So I guess what I would be concerned about is if she is coming from a place where she doesn't feel that she is whole and does not need your help to reaffirm her, can she truly consent in that case? So that would be something to consider.
You said, does she feel? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so in a situation where she is feeling like she needs other resources for validation, such as herself or other things, in that case, can she truly consent to you being with other partners, because is she fully aware of all the repercussions that will have on her?
I am not aware of how she feels with that in that regard. But
You haven't talked about it?
I mean, we open and honest, but a lot of the things that I say, look, I said, at the end of the day, it's your decision. If you want to be with another guy, and I've communicated this to her, if I say you'll make a great wife, whether it's for me or another guy, if you don't want to wait on me, you don't have to wait on me. All of these things have been communicated.
So I hear what you're saying, because you're talking a lot about consent, but however, there's consent and then there's informed consent.
Wait,
so
what do you? I don't know where the consent.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What does that have to do?
I try to avoid conversations about consent. Right?
Well, yeah, but
Massively
like,
overrated.
yeah. Well, okay.
I think she's just trying to say maybe your main chick was only saying that just because she's scared to lose you.
Wait, but okay,
Like agreeing to
you
the-
let her know,
agreeing
right?
to the
so I don't
terms,
see how
yes.
consent comes in. He was upfront with her. He's not like he's not going behind
Yeah,
her
yeah,
back
yeah,
and cheating.
I
Well,
understand that.
consent meaning like she knows what's going on. She's willingly doing it.
because
You told her though, right? You
Yeah.
told
Yeah,
her
like
what's
she
up.
This is like, it's weird with women sometimes. Like, they are so preachy that women are so smart. Women are the highest educated. Women are have the most degrees. All like, they prop women up so much that it's always insane to me to think that women also think other women are stupid, are child. They're like children or like babies. Excuse me. Are not, this is not intelligent enough, that they think women are, oh, are you sure she knows that you're dating other women? Are you sure she knows this? Are you sure she actually consented, really? Are you sure that she's fine with, it's like, at the end of the day, we are human beings. We are adults, right? Adults. There's a certain point where it is funny that you can take out responsibility, take out accountability. And women are queens of ignoring, taking away accountability for women. They will hold a man accountable like with a knife to the throat. But if it's a woman, they're like, oh no, maybe she doesn't really consent. Maybe she doesn't really know the situation. Maybe she's deluded. It's like it always amazes me that you can one hand prop up other women, and then insult them at the same time. And I just think it's foolish that there are things in life, if you're an adult, you should already understand the concepts of things. Good, bad, cheating, not cheating. You want to stay with me or you do not. I mean, it's like, it's funny because women will reject a man on the spot. But you think that they can't leave a man. It is women that don't leave. It's a choice. Now, I'm not talking about like the rare instances of like, I don't know, being locked in, captive, shit like that. But it's like, I really do not like victim mentality. Oh, I can't leave him. If I leave him, I have nothing. What? I mean, it's just helping reinforce this victim mentality that you're helpless, that you're weak, and yet on the flip side, it's like, no, you're strong, independent. It's like, it just makes it feel like women are all over the place, and it goes back to women are just emotional, and emotions is a wide range. It goes everywhere. So I just think it's stupid.
Knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So what's the consent?
So one thing that kind of happens in the ethical non-monogamy community, and maybe this doesn't apply to you, but there's kind of like the don't ask, don't tell. So maybe you know that your partner's out there doing other things, but you would rather not know the details. And in that case, it's sort of a gray area because it's like, it's happening, but what is the reason that you don't want to know how many other partners they have? Even considerations about safe sex and protection and things like that. Those are irrelevant things, right? So if you don't have those things laid out on the table, you consent sort of on the superficial level, but there's not deeper informed consent with all the information in front of you. So that's kind of the only thing I bring up.
The ethical non-monogamous community.
And that's you're in that community.
That's your...
The ethical, I just found this out. I was unaware of this.
I hope it's ethical.
Are you ethical?
Yeah. Do you mean like, okay, say for example,
I'm talking about recycling.
We take STI tests. Like, if I've been with somebody else or whatever, I'll take an STI test to make sure, what I'm saying, I'm clean, she's good. Like, is that what you mean?
So that's part of it. So the STI part is sort of the physical health part of it. There's also sort of the emotional repercussion part of it. And so that's a little bit of a gray area because you can make the argument, well, we've sort of talked a little bit about, babe, how would you feel if I slept with another person or I had 4 other side chicks? So it's a little bit of a gray area as far as how much you've talked about it and how much of that is enough or like what is considered informed. But sort of the opposite extreme of that is the don't ask, don't tell, where it's like, I sort of know this happening, but I don't want to know anything about it. And in that case, what I would ask is, are we really kind of considering your own emotional health in being able to say yes to the situation?
Hold on. Are you suggesting that there's an assault occurring because there's not, you're suggesting that there's
no
not.
assault. Is that what she said?
Huh? Yeah.
No.
But he's already stated that he's told her, and he's on a podcast in front of thousands of people watching. I assume they've had a conversation that, I mean, he's pretty open about it here on the podcast. I assume they've had a conversation that
and we
it's
have,
open
we
on
have
his
an
end.
understanding. I mean, you guys are trying to, You guys are trying to get an understanding that you don't have, but we have that understanding because we've had these conversations. So it's not like I'm in an official relationship. These are women that I'm dating. So I date multiple women. I'm not in a committed relationship to anybody.
So she knows that you're dating other people.
Yes,
Who gives a shit?
exactly. So I'm dating other. I'm dating other women, and what I'm saying is I take the most interest in her because I've been dating her the longest, and we've developed the strongest relationship out of all the women that I've been dating. So does that clarify a lot more?
She's your fave.
She's my favorite. Yes.
No, I hear you, and like I said, I don't think anything you're doing is considered like can kind of work through the repercussions of what you're doing, the healthier relationship that can lead to, even if in the future you decide to close your relationship and become monogamous. So, from what I've seen, right? So there's different gradations of how you can do it. As long as you two are both consenting, I don't see anything wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm transparent about everything. I try to be transparent about everything so that nobody's left to wonder, nobody's left to make assumptions in negative to where, you know, they feel overwhelmed with anxiety or they feel depressed or, you know, I don't want to break anyone's heart. You know,
I hope it works out. So, but who here, it seems like a lot of the girls here object to the fact that he's open with his partners about this, but you object to the fact that he's seeing multiple women.
That's what it is.
I wouldn't say I object. I just
Y'all have
don't
pretty
like
knee-jerk
I don't like
reactions
the
to
dynamic because on one end he's saying like I'm free to do whatever I want with these women, you know, and that's how it's gonna be. But if you were to do it, it's just a no-go for me.
But doesn't that come down to me understanding the differences between men and women? I do it because I can do it. As I said, if she does it, I've lost her.
Is it just because you can do something, does that make it right?
It's not about right or wrong.
It's not about right or
I
wrong.
can stab you. It doesn't mean I should do it.
It's not.
I don't think you would necessarily.
It's not about
her.
right or wrong.
I think it would be like her saying, "Oh, you got all these other people on one side. I'm just doing it because you doing it."
But do you know her though?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying I know her.
You don't know her. You don't know her. I know her. So I'm telling you, if she were to do it, based on how I know her behavioral tendencies, her attitude, the way that she thinks, how selective she is, how secretive she is with her body, if she were to do it, that means she really liked the guy. That means she liked that guy more than me. I lost her. So that's what I'm saying.
So I have a question for you.
$99. Q, what is your ratio of women?
What is my ratio of women? How many women approach me versus how many women I actually accept? Oh, my ratio is similar to Raspy's. I get approached by a lot of women, and I turn down a lot of sex. Honestly,
yeah, I feel you.
I turn down a lot of sex. My DM is full of thousands of women, and a lot of the times I just ignore it.
Thousands?
Yeah.
Stop fogging the women.
I have a question about your question. So another way to look at it, couldn't you also say that she has the freedom to leave if he isn't giving her what she wants, and she could look for a guy who is more willing to be monogamous to her?
Yeah, she could.
Yeah. She just didn't choose to.
But I was just.
She made her decision. She just
did
didn't
you guys
choose
live
to
together?
leave.
Do we live together?
Yeah.
Not anymore. We did.
So
we did at one point, and when we did, I didn't even see other women.
Well, the thing is for me,
even though we weren't committed in a relationship, I still didn't see other women out of respect for the fact that we lived together.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I'm just saying that like, I don't see the problem with you, seeing other women just because of the fact that you are transparent with her, which is automatically it's in her hands. So if she chooses not to go see other people knowingly that you are dating other people, that's her choice to do. And it's like you said, like men and women are different. We have a man who's going to spend all of his time with the woman that he cares about the most. He's going to spend the most money because he works to make his money. So why would he go waste it on some girls that he doesn't see any potential in? So as long as you're not saying this is my girlfriend and there's no title on it, there's nothing. I don't see anything wrong with that.
And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Well, she could be his girlfriend even, but as long as she understands.
She's just his.
Well,
situation.
They're dating. It's a part of dating, but they haven't. It's not like you ever said, "Will you be my girlfriend?"
Right.
Because once
I won't say that. I always think that it's interesting that women always want certain type of men, right? Like I said, men that are the top 20% of men. Men that are very sought after, right? But they want those men to be like the 80% of men, like very monogamous, very kind, very considerate, very maybe emotionally in tune, maybe marriage minded. So that's why I've said it in my other videos too, where I always feel like women want perfection. They want men to be perfect. So let's say the top 20% of men, he has all the qualities that I named, right? Tall, all, maybe money, all this stuff, right? But he doesn't have maybe the qualities that the 80% of men have. But a woman want that, right? It's always like they want, let's say, they want the basketball player that is marriage minded, right? They want the athlete that is monogamous, that maybe a virgin, right? Or maybe not a virgin, but have been very selective on who he's been with, right? That's not a part that, it's like they want perfection. Women just want men that they want to have all the qualities that they want. And I think that's the delusion that I always say that women exude, right? Because they're deluded in how the world works. No one man, or it's rare, can have it all, right? Can have all the qualities that you want. So it's ridiculous.